Hey everybody, it's Edwardo here with your DraftStream Sunday night estimates update. Doing it a little different this weekend. Okay, final overshare. Had a little bit of eye infection, could barely get through the update, but we are here to analyze some of these results. And get your brooms ready. Gamble 24x7 is gunning for a clean sweep, a maximum of in this case, 60, 30, 50, wow, 105 of the available $115 in the prize pool. He's gunning for it. Your boy, Swag Official, myself, is the only one that stands between him and a clean money sweep. I'm going to try, y'all. I really am. Unless IDEMO or Livewire really jumps up, these three DraftStream, Cinema Draft affiliated call sheets cannot prevent G24, the homie, from getting his top two money. Now let's see what perfection looks like. How close is he getting? How do we stop this beast? So perfection looks like an optimal call sheet of the an optimal stack of The Reason I Jump, Hell's Kitchen headliner stack, Dickinson headliner stack. All right, and then All Creatures Great and Small headliner stack. So your typical 8-1-1 construction. And let's not forget that we still have room to run, and by that I mean we still have Monday debuts in Crack, Cocaine, Corruption, Conspiracy coming on Netflix, midnight Pacific. Rest assured I will be watching that on my third monitor. Also, Finding Joy Season 2 comes to Acorn TV, although I think it's a repeat of what's already aired over the BBC. So those scores might already be baked in. Oh, actually, maybe not. All right, well, I guess we might find out. I'm not sure if anyone even has rostered any actors from Finding Joy. But still, we'll keep our eye on that. And then Tiger debuted tonight, and these aren't really reflecting the scores. I'm 6 minutes from finishing part one. I guess they're gonna drag it out over 2 weeks. Ugh. But no, it's compelling, man. It's like 90 minutes. This part one of the 2-part miniseries, and even though obviously Tiger did not participate in this, they've got an assortment of people close in his life. Steve Williams, his infamous caddy, his longtime infamous caddy at one point. Some family friends, and of course they rolled out the ex-girlfriend. Oh my goodness, they rolled out the high school girlfriend. I shudder to think, and I rated this, so I'm not going to count this. This is just me. But I shudder to think what a high school girlfriend would say about me, for crying out loud. Like, some 25 years later. So you kind of take it with a grain of salt, but it is an interesting look into the psyche of the man, how this guy was brought up. The whole Earl Woods thing. He really was trying to make a robot, like a golfing robot. And then his mother also apparently had a nice ruthless streak to her about, when they're down, just step on their throat. Shout out to Clotilda, yeah, to Clotilda Woods. Anyway, so it's compelling. I'm in. I'm watching. I only have about 6 minutes left. And so it'll be interesting to see what the scores reflect. If people will just think it's, a one-sided hit job or whatever. But he's a complicated dude. Although privileged in some sense of an upbringing, it was still challenging in other ways. Like, it didn't sound like he had the greatest time in high school socially because his parents were so strict. Anyways, I won't spoil it. Check it out for yourselves on HBO right now. HBO Max. That's what I'm watching it on. So it'll be interesting to see if Tiger comes into play at all. But right now, G24, the homie. Oh, and also apologies. Of course, ever eagle-eyed as ever, G24 pointed out to me that I had I'd missed a couple of rows in his earlier call sheet, so that is my bad. Within 15 points of perfection here, he's got the optimal stack of all creatures great and small, headliner stack of Hell's Kitchen, headliner stack of The Reason I Jump. So he's got a piece of that in the perfect call sheet. And then headliners from the Circus and Dickinson. And yes, give it up for the Circus this year. They came out with a 1 hour debut. Usually it's like a half hour. There was a lot to cover. Just a little light treason happening in the country this week that, of course, Heilman and crew had to cover. Heilman was actually in the thick of it. He was in there, at least in the back section of the protest before it turned into full-blown riot. And so it was interesting to see, like, a shot went off and he turned, like anyone else would, he turned tail. I'm like, yep, we're out of here. So the Circus is back. 1 hour debut. I mean, and because there's so much news, there might be another hour next week as well. Because next week's probably going to cover. Well, next week's going to cover this week, from the 10th through, I guess, the 16th. So, I mean, I expect actually hour-long episodes from here until maybe February, once Biden's got his footing under him. Because I don't think, even being deplatformed, I don't think 45 is going quietly into the night. That's just not his stilo. But yeah, the Circus is pretty cool. Check it out if you're a political junkie like me. Look at these one sheets. I mean, incredible. It's just some incredible one sheets. The Circus. Anyways, all right, yeah, douchebag. Anyways, I won't get into it. So very good looking call sheet. I expect he's probably going to get a bit of a bump for the Circus, seeing how it debuted. Its season 6 debut was tonight. What else? And Dickinson? No, Dickinson's already been out. And actually, I think I mentioned on the previous strategy pod, I started watching Dickinson and I like it. So hopefully I can get caught up and enjoy season 2 in short order. And then he's competing with himself. About 27 points off. And basically he so he swapped out all creatures great and small for a headliner stack from Nailed It Mexico Season 3. Which is excellent value. Look at this. 8,700 gets you 143. Jesus. It's good value. It's almost 20x. Alright, so what, pray tell, can I do to stop this juggernaut, this beast, the all-time DraftStream money winner? Well, and I'm sorry, I'm not giving you your flowers. All-time Cinema Draft and DraftStream money winner, Gamble 24x7, G24 the homie. All right, so I've got blockers with all creatures great and small. I went with an optimal stack of Hell's Kitchen. And actually, yeah, that came out, what's that, on Friday? Thursday? So, yeah, that's probably not improving. The Bachelor came out on Monday, so that's not going anywhere. The Dissident. Hopefully, I mean, it came out this weekend. Scores are high. I paid for the score. I did not pay for value. I paid for points. Ironically, though, not the highest scoring title of the week. Actually, it turns out it's Dickinson. Dickinson at, how much did Dickinson cost? Dickinson at $12,200 for Haley Steinfeld, who's just a marvel. She's great. Got you 118 points. I mean, I think that actually puts it in the top 10. No more than top 12 of all-time performing DraftStream titles so far. 118 is pretty rare air. So yeah, so I've got my work cut out for me. And then The Reason to Jump, that's cool. But yeah, The Bachelor, I mean, The Bachelor was a punt. And it's a decent punt. I mean, it's a really good punt, actually. 5,400 for headliner, getting me 114 points. It's like 20x. I mean, I'm not complaining. But I just don't see how I get over Hell's Kitchen. I mean, it did fine. 15x is very good, but look, I mean, when you're going up against G24, who's only 15 points off the perfect call sheet, and averaging 15x across his entire call sheet. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? It's like you crushed a drive off the tee for 280, and here comes Tiger in his prime, just crushed it 330. What are you gonna do with that? Anyways, oh god, and far be it for me to call him Tiger Woods in his prime, but you know what? I'm not stopping him this week, and I don't know how anyone else is. Brown Baby, aka the Draft Mom, our mascot. So Tiger may pay off right now. It does not have any user scores, I don't believe. Headliner and co-star from the circus. History of swear words did decent, but decent isn't going to cut it this week, I'm telling you. Happy Face, decent. Dickinson, very smart. If only you had more Dickinson, you'd be up in this. And then a 3-pack of all creatures great and small. Excellent use of your value. So, in any other week, you'd probably be in a better position, Mom. But 15 points per 1,000. What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do? IDEMO. Oh, and then also, you can see the gap here, too. 90-point differential, almost, between my mom and myself. I mean, I don't know if there are enough miracles out there to cover that kind of ground. And then IDEMO. Let's take a look at yours real quick. Let's see what's going on here. He went in big on History of Swear Words, and I enjoyed it, but it just got kind of middling reviews. So doing a full 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 6-pack, a full 6-pack of History of Swear Words, well, economical and gave you room to get up to pay up for the Dissident and Tiger. And actually, I'm not saying entirely I mispriced this because we don't know what these Google user score is going to look like, but he's going to need. People are going to need to watch Tiger tonight, maybe even have it trend on Twitter or something in order to get some real attention on it, to get enough response between now and 12 p.m. Pacific time when we do final scores. But I do like the exposure to Dickinson. That's good. And Mr. Mayor, jury's out. Actually, doesn't look like it's gotten much traction. Honestly, I totally forgot it was out there. So I actually recorded it, or I added to my YouTube TV queue tonight. And so maybe I'll have it on my third monitor while I do some work. Maybe. It seems like a third monitor show, like your AP bios. Like, I really enjoy that show, but I don't necessarily need to be seated, focused, watching it without distraction. Mr. Mayor seems like it could be a third monitor show. I don't know. But for its pilot, I'll give it its due. Maybe I'll watch it before I go to bed or something and try to give it my undivided attention. Maybe. But the early reviews do not seem great. And so that's pretty much going to wrap it. Oh, the low ball. All right. Oh, stop this man. We got to stop him. So the low ball, Love and Hip Hop Secrets Unlocked. There it is. Default score. Getting kind of hard to see anyone to weigh in on it. I think this is going to be a full defaulter, so yeah, it's just gonna live there. And then crack cocaine, corruption, whatever, just below a default score, but that comes out late tonight, so I don't expect this to stay. And then American Dream. And now this is not a default score. They actually do have a score. This is a 5.0, so it actually just happens to mirror a default score, but it's not a default score. This is actually its IMDb rating, 5.0 right there. I just want to clear something up. Some people have wondered a little bit about the process of how we score these TV series, and I get it. It can be a little confusing. Woo! Might have to cut that out. Anyways, So we are. Some people had some questions about like the process sometimes on finding these scores, and everything is clearly stated under scoring, and actually not under scoring, under the rules. But just to go over them real quick. Here it is. Wherever possible for a returning series, the average score of the new episodes available will be used. So, for example, let's. So, for example, if we're in season 2, let's take not American Dream. Let's take The Circus. Sure. So, The Circus, season 6 doesn't have a rating yet. I don't think. Yeah, so this doesn't have a rating yet. But if this didn't have... all right, this is a bad example. Sorry. Let's find a better example. How about... Okay, Hell's Kitchen. Perfect. Let's do Rotten Tomatoes... Rotten Tomatoes is usually where we have this issue, right? So let's go to Hell's Kitchen. Okay, so first off, you see there's no overall score, but we're not going for... Jeez, oh, come on. Sorry. Let's just refresh this. There we go. All right. And then it's going to pop... There you go. All right. So in this case, we are dealing with the season 19 premiere, right? So we go down here, we click season 19. Is there a score yet? There is not. So then we go check with the overall series score. There's not one. And so this is when we have to start going back through time. So if there isn't an overall series score and there isn't an if there's an individual season score and there isn't there's an overall series score, you have to go back chronologically through the seasons to find the next available potential score. And it turns out, I believe it's in season 18 where there's at least one review. And with Rotten Tomatoes, it's a percentage system. So yeah, so if there's one person, if there's even one critic with a review, it counts as a 1 of 1, and it's 100%. Right. So if this critic hated it, this would be a 0. Since this critic liked it, it's 100. Because Rotten Tomatoes is percentage based. And at Metacritic, it's actually numerically based. They always have like a number, even if they don't have enough to give an overall score. So, and the rationale behind that is, as you go through, well, you want to get the season you're in, and if you can't get that, then an overall idea of the show will do. But if that's not available, the reason why we start here and go backwards is because we figure that, and maybe not so much with a reality show, but with most like serialized, dramas or sitcoms, whatever, that you want a score closest to the actual season because casts change. Writers and showrunners change. Things come and go in the life cycle of a show. And so you want a score from the most recent previous season available because you want to accurately reflect the show that is being rated. All right? So hopefully that clears that up some. And and so I guess we'll wrap it up there. Oh, no, that's right. We're going to do the low ball. Okay, we covered the low ball. And G24, just 3 points, 2 and some change points lower than I am. Nanny murders, crack corruption, cocaine, mostly for the salary. And yeah, they got a lot of American Dream, which is smart because that thing's been out since Tuesday and it's not budging. So this score, might as well be a default score. It's just stuck there. And then this is probably going to go up. So maybe that's my win. Maybe that's my in because I'm only 2 points to change behind him. I only have 1 crack cocaine. And then I have another nanny murder. So if this thing goes up any at all, I think I'm in there. I think I'm denying him his clean sweep. Watch what happens. Watch this. Let's say this does like an 80, right? Somebody's lower. So his best bet is that this sucker does not come in at all. That it does not get a Google user score or an IMDb score in time. All right. So I know you watch these. I know you watch these. I was gonna call you Jaybird. No, I know you watch these G24. So I know what you're rooting for or against. All right, so this turned out to be a little bit longer than I thought, but I'm glad to bring up this kind of clarification. I want you guys to be the best players possible. Thank you so much for taking this game as seriously as some of you guys do. I appreciate it. And even if you don't take it seriously, thank you for your data. We really have whipped this game into shape since last April. So that's going to be it for now. Thanks, everybody, for playing. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'll be back, I guess, in about 15 hours. All right, well, actually, more than that. Probably, I'll be back within the next 24 hours with your final results and talent pool preview for next week. Thanks for watching, everybody. Holla at your boy.